Thailand, the well-being land, land of growth and connectivity from local to regional and global. Land of business opportunities, land of food supplies, connecting from farm to table worldwide. Land of tranquility for body and soul, land of hospitality, connecting heart to heart. Unlimited investment opportunities. The Stock Exchange of Thailand. Make it work for everyone.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is our great pleasure to welcome you all to this very special luncheon talk during the Thailand Focus 2019 with the theme Social Sustainability for Sustainable Thailand. The Stock Exchange of Thailand strives to ensure that the Thai capital market continue to grow while first serving as an effective mechanism for national development in line with the United Nations SDG goal. SET is not only the fundraising and investment platform, but it is a social platform committed to creating social benefit, promoting growth of social enterprises, and building network of social development. Today, the spotlight is on one of the most successful social enterprise in Thailand, Mae Pha Luang Foundation, and its flagship Doi Tung Development Project. The project was initiated in 1998 by Her Excellency HRS Princess Srinakharin, Princess Mother, in northern Thailand, Chiang Rai Province. It is the story of human transformation. By focusing on people's needs, the foundation was able to help mountainous people out of poverty while managing the natural environment. These people were able to have job opportunities, education, and most importantly, the chance to live their life in full. It was a drastic change for mankind. Doi Tung has become a living example of sustainable society. Its approach on reducing poverty gap while reducing inequality is one of the most important cornerstones of United Nations 2030 Global Agenda for Sustainable Development. Today, it is a great opportunity for us to listen to Mae Pha Luang Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are highly honored to welcome our keynote speaker today, Mom Luang Ditpanatda Disgun. We call him Mr. Duke, the CEO of Mae Pha Luang Foundation. Let me briefly describe his experience. Mr. Duke has extensive background in sustainable development. He is the key representative in the Mae Pha Luang Foundation core knowledge. Mr. Duke has overseen the Doi Tung Development Project since the beginning and has now branched into 5 social businesses. He is active in Thailand Social Enterprise. He is a member of Thailand Social Enterprise Board. He co-founded and recently elected President of Social Enterprise Thailand Association. He's a member of Asia 21 Young Leaders and World Economic Forum Young Global Leaders. Ms. Duc has earned an MBA from Sachin University, Chulalongkorn. Without any further ado, please give us a hand and welcome Mr. Duc, หม่อมหลวงดิษฐ์ปนัดดา ดิษฐกุล the CEO of แม่ฟ้าหลวง Foundation.
Sawasdee krap. I'm supposed to do this in English, I suppose. Last time I came up on something like this was on my wedding night, so I've never had a stage where I can actually play football. But it's not about football, it's about sustainable development. And I'm very, very honored to be here today. And I hope that I will not bore you with something. I hope that I would leave you all with a little bit of food for thought. Okay. All right. Now, I'm a CEO of a foundation. We have a flagship project in the north of Thailand, in Chiang Rai province, which is called the Doi Tung Development Project. It's a 30-year-old organization. When we started, it was nothing like what it is today. So there's a lot of armed groups, opium cultivation, a lot of drug trafficking, armed trafficking, and human trafficking. And we spent our time trying to solve this problem and gradually we turned ourselves into a business, which later on called social enterprise. And I guess that is the start of our journey. The founder of our foundation is Her Royal Highness the Princess Mother, from the mother of His Majesty the late King. She founded this entity in trying to bridge markets between products that are produced in the rural northern community with that market in big cities. The approach of our foundation is to help people so that they can help themselves. So we focus from day one in trying to build the capacity, knowing that everything we do, we need to plan to exit. And we believe in people. We believe that if we are able to empower them, if we are able to guide them, they will make the right choices. And the choices will also be beneficial for not only themselves, but their family, their community, society, and environment. In our development, we categorize our development to the 3 S's. Most of the time, we are asked to go into the community where the local people are living in the survival stage, where there's not a whole lot of healthcare, there's lacking basic infrastructure, high level of debt, and not a whole lot of means to live. Then we have to gradually move them from that through sufficient stage and to sustainable stage. But I'm not going to bore you with a whole lot of what we have done. I'm just going to fast forward 30 years. So Doi Tung today, we have very, very high quality of life. We turn denuded area, 150 square kilometers, where 90 square kilometers are barren land, into a full watershed area. We have income generation from activities that allow people to coexist with nature. In Doi Tung, we have macadamia and coffee, which are our 2 economic cash crops. And we build our brands over time because we believe that in order to do well, we should not keep on expanding our land, but we need to add value to our products. We need to climb the value chain. We need to focus on quality. I think this is something that you all are very, very aware of. So we have coffee, we have macadamia, which we sell. You can find our products pretty much everywhere. We also have retail cafes. Most recently, we are very, very happy that we are now one of the operators in one of the 4 United Nations offices. So as SCAP, you can now find Doi Tung Coffee, 2 branches. So you can see next time you're at SCAP, please stop by at our Doi Tung Coffee. We also have handicraft businesses where it's not about how we built our brand, but it's more like adding on to the knowledge of the local people. The Hill Tribes villagers are quite good with with their hands. They're good with their craft. What they're lacking is high quality materials, good design, and quality control. So we provided that for them. And over time, we started building our products. We also have horticulture, where we have potted plants, cut flowers, which later turned into our tourism industry. Every year we welcome about 600 to 800,000 visitors to the project area. We have a small 44 lodge where people can come and stay, 44 rooms lodge where people can come and stay. And all this built businesses for us, for the local community. And based on the work that we have done, we are able to lift the income of the people from 3,000 baht per person per year to over 100,000 baht, which is way above the poverty line. Economically, education-wise, we have also increased the number of people who are now going to school. These people are now come back and they start working with us in the project area. Some of them are managers. And environmentally, we are able to remain a watershed area. Now, if you haven't finished your lunch, I would highly encourage that you finish your dessert because this is about to turn a bit bland for us. Because while we're all sitting here enjoying our lifestyle and we're enjoying the growth, which we can see, there are more people who move beyond poverty line into the medium income, especially in Asia. But if you look very, very carefully, you would see that the growth only happened to a very, very few. And there are so many people who are being left behind. I just came back from United Nations at ECOSOC meeting, and everyone was talking about inequality. Everyone at United Nations was acknowledging that while there are growth, we are leaving a whole bunch of people behind. Now, this is something that is not apparent for all of us because we have not spent a lot of time in the field. We have not gone to the community, sit down and talk to them. We have not really tried to make sense of their lives, of how difficult it is to send their kids to school without having to take out a loan, how difficult it is as agriculture to farm and to be subject to drastic weather patterns. Because at the end of the day, a lot of us who are living in the cities are more focused on the ROIs. And ROIs does not reflect livelihoods of the people. Now, if you look at this, Thailand is actually number 4 in inequality. Now, this is something I see pretty much every day, something that I can relate to because I spend a lot of my time in the rural communities and percentage growth for someone who has $1 billion is going to far more exceed someone, a 30% growth, someone who already have $1 million. And this is not a game that the people at the bottom of the pyramid can catch up. We are living in this world where while we try to increase our wealth, we exploit the others. The world is changing because of all this growth. We started to see the increase in climate patterns. This year, there's drought. There's bigger hurricanes in the States. There are tornadoes in Asia Pacific. And I hope that you are starting to hear more about the 2 degrees. Have you heard about the 2 degrees? Right? The world is warming up. If we reach 2 degrees, it will be at a stage where we cannot reverse the course of this earth. So, this is a consequence, or is this a consequence of development? We're starting to see the effect of climate change, the climate that has impact on keystone species, Keystone species, by the way, are, like top of the line food chain. So if we don't have them, then it means that the ecosystem is broken down. And these keystone species are at threat. Thai people are very familiar with the term PM 2.5, PM 2.5, right? We ran out of masks to wear just a couple of months ago, and now it seems like we all seem to forget about it. We have the smog from the forest fire in Amazon now that is flowing, going over parts of Brazil that make it look more like night than day. We have waste issues, right? Mariam, God rest her soul, right? And many other whales that we found washed ashore on the beaches of Thailand, all because of waste. Recently, I just saw a video of nature giving back to human. I'm not sure you've seen the video clip of ocean spitting back plastics onto the streets. Now, that is not a doing of a seagull somewhere. It is not a doing of a crow, or a raccoon, or a rat. It's our doing, and we're having this impact on the earth. And yet, we are not spending enough time to try to do something about it. I believe that it's time for businesses to rethink how we want to exist in this world. If not for your sake, it's for the sakes of your children and grandchildren. I'm a father of 3, and I'm very, very worried about the lives that my kids and my grandkids will have to live. Those of you who have seen some of the sci-fi movies, Star Wars, remember when there's some guy getting off one of those vehicles and they were wearing masks because they could not walk out of their homes because they could not breathe the air? The air that we have taken for granted and the water that we drink. They may not be able to enjoy that. And that's what keeps me up at night. Now, I'm not sure whether you have read the sustainability definition on Wikipedia. I mean, this is like the most simple things that I can find, which, you should find it and try to understand a bit. It's meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own need. Are we doing that? Are we not compromising the future generation's need? The answer is very apparent, no. Right? There were figures saying that at month 7 in the year, we have already used up all the resources we should use in a year. At month 7. Now, if this is a business term, it means that you have burned through all your budgets in 7 months. And you have 5 more months in which you need to borrow. And you are borrowing from the future generation. We are borrowing from the future generation. It's very, very simple. At this rate, any company running their businesses like this will collapse. Now, the funny thing is, I was at Davos earlier this year, and we have enough technology available in this world to reverse the situation. But we don't have the political will, and we don't have the will of businesses and the consumers to drive these changes. Now, we spent a lot of time trying to redefine ourselves as an entity, as an organization, and we came up with this very, very simple aspiration. We haven't got there yet, but this is what we want to become. We want to be a business that leaves this world a better place. That's it. So we need to leave this world a better place economically, socially, and environmentally. So how do we do that? So the past year and a half, we've started walking down this path, this journey in trying to transform ourselves a small foundation. We believe that we need to have profit with purpose. We believe that we need to have business with heart, and we believe that while doing this, we need to incubate and change the mindset of the future generation. They need to grow up and be aware of the things that we have done wrong in the past. So our approach is not to do this alone. We want to co-work with people, co-innovate. We want to find the right partners that want to take the journey with us. So what have we done? We believe that in order to do this, it's better to work with people and try to change their mindset than to just sit here and start pointing fingers and tell that you guys are not doing your job. So we have an event called the Toitung and Friends where we start working with different private sectors, different artists, and try to instill some of our principles, get them to see the lives of the people on the other side so that maybe one day when they're doing their businesses, when they're going about their life, they can be the spokesperson of the change that we needed. We work with IKEA because IKEA allowed us as social enterprise access to markets. We are working with Muji because we believe in the sustainability approach of the Muji brand. And we're working with Japan Airlines because Japan Airlines also recognize our sustainability, and Japan Airlines have sustainability built into the companies. Now these are things that companies are beginning to do, but we need more of this. So not only that, we ourselves need to also change. As of October last year, we are zero waste to landfill. It took us 5 years to do that. And our goal in the next 5 years is to make the entire 150 square kilometers of Doi Tung zero waste. So we will take what we learn as an organization and we're going to pass this on to the community, and hopefully we will be able to transform the community as well. We are beginning to use more renewable energy. So now we have 5% of our energy which is renewable. We will spend another $1 million on facilities where we can further use renewable energies, focusing more on reduction of LPG gases. We believe in circular economy. We believe that nothing should go to waste. So here, what we're trying to do is to make use of everything that we produce in Doi Tung. This is an example of a macadamia husk, a macadamia nut. The husk is used as fertilizer, which goes to do the ground cover, and the nuts, the shell, the macadamia shell, is burned to use to heat our water in our production facility. After they're burned, then they are crushed, and they are used as glazing for our ceramics. And the smaller bits is then we started to use them as trays in our restaurants in Doi Tung. So nothing goes to waste. We are going to have 40% of our product, our carpets for the next season, made from yarns, which we collaborate with PTT Global Chemical. And it's going to be made from recycled plastic bottles. We are upcycling our product. Papers are now being mixed together, used to make paper bags. So we don't care how our paper bag looks, so long as it serves the purpose of being a bag, because we are able to use leftover papers for our production. We are using our fabrics as small gift sets, souvenirs, keychains, right? And plastic bottles, as I said, it turns into bag from the yarn that we work with PTTGC. Next year, we will be carbon neutral. And that's something that I believe is important for us to make the statement. I think it's time for us to stop thinking about what it is that we need to do. And it's time for us to start doing it and learn what we did right, what we did wrong. Because time is something we cannot afford. Now, what I believe is that, in fact, one of the reasons why I'm here is because I believe that we here have a role to play in the new phase of capitalism. How can we make capitalism more effective? How can we focus more on businesses that will make this world a better place. In order to do that, I think we need to address 3 gaps. One is the income gap. So we need to find more innovative ways to include people at the bottom of the food chain in the process of development. Can we do more of direct purchasing? Can we bypass some of the middleman so that we can distribute income more to the people? Can we identify local entrepreneurs which we can build capacity and involve him or her in the development of her local communities? We need to address the resource gaps. We are using far more than we are conserving, and we need to find new ways of doing this. Something as simple as refusing to use straws, even paper straws, because waste is waste. Doesn't matter if it's plastic or paper, it's waste. So if we can drink our water at home without using straws, I don't see how we cannot drink water at restaurants without using straw. I don't see how we need to use a straw to drink our water in a restaurant. 3, we need to bridge the moral gap. And I think this is one of the biggest issue and challenge in Thailand, because we, sitting in this room, are an example for kids to follow. We need to understand our role in the society. And it's very funny because I was taught recently, I was asked actually recently about my role, my responsibility. What is my first and foremost responsibility? And my answer was to myself. Because when I've done my work, when I finish my job, when I go home, I can relax. I can reward myself. And I use the same principle with my kids. When you've done your homework, then you can play your phone. And this is the same concept for companies. When you meet your target, you can have your bonus. But I found out later that that answer was wrong. Because someone told me that the first and foremost, most important responsibility for myself, for me, is to the community. Not to myself, but to the community. Now, when I begin to think about that, it kind of makes sense. Because when we have responsibility for ourselves, and we reward ourselves when we finish our task, then our responsibility to the community becomes a choice. We can do it, or we don't have to do it. And when you look at this in a bigger scale, then the CSR program becomes a choice. Because then I can choose to do it, or I don't have to do it. But if we reverse this mindset and we started to think we have responsibility for our community, the way in which we do businesses will be different completely. Because we have to think of others before we think of ourselves. And I think that is a way for the new capitalism to be effective. And that is something that we as an entity, a small foundation of 1,700 people, are trying to figure it out. And I really, really hope that while you guys are having, very, very fruitful discussion here, this is something that you would go home, you would go to your companies, you would go see your peers, and you would talk about. Because at the end of the day, we have one earth. At the end of the day, it's about the next generation. It's not about us. And at the end of the day, yes, money is important. You can't take it with you. We leave everything when we go, including money. But the one thing to me that is more important than money when I go is the stories that I'm leaving behind. And that is something that I want businesses to start think about. And that is something that I think we all need to do a little better. And I would conclude my lunch talk with this. Thank you very, very much.